Good evening, people.
Good evening, sir.
What up?
How you doing?
How's it going?
Good.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, Michael.
Hey, Michael.
How y'all doing?
Wonderful.
Good.
Michael's all snuggled up, sitting on the porch.
Yeah, it's a little colder today, but this is football weather for a guy from Chicago. So I got my hat on and I got my heater going. Life's good.
Good. Yeah, only got to the mid 60s here today in Arizona. I was wearing my coat. I was like, holy hell.
Yeah, I saw the sun for the first time up here in Tacoma for, I don't know, last 2 weeks.
I got friends up in Seattle said that the weather in the last couple of days has been horrific.
Yeah.
Rain and
Yep.
snow and sleet and
Yeah, just another week and I head back to Michigan. So,
Sweet.
you know that's supposed to be the other way around, right? You're supposed to go south in the winter, right?
yeah. I did 20 or a little over 25 years in Florida. So
Oh, okay. Too bad,
yeah,
right?
but also 25 years in Buffalo. So,
You are not
Wow.
that old, my friend.
oh yeah, it happens. Ask
Steph
Dave.
is here.
Ask Dave.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Dave.
Good evening.
So I have no idea how many people are actually going to be here tonight because I got a whole ton of emails and texts saying, could you send me the link? And the email went out. I double checked, but apparently a bunch of people never got it. So,
Yeah, I never get it any week.
well, I got to add you onto that email list then.
Well, the one you sent out today was for last week's meeting.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you sent out one on Sunday. You sent out a generic for anybody who wanted to do a one timer, and that's the link I used.
right.
I invited a few people.
Interesting.
No,
Well, see, my co-host behind me showed up though.
yeah.
Yeah.
There he is.
What's the dog's name?
That's Ollie.
I'm sorry, what? Ollie?
Ollie. Ollie. He's an 85-pound golden doodle.
All right.
He's supposed to be 50. Overgrew himself a little bit.
I'm not sure there's
Right.
really a big difference between 50 and 85.
Yes. Yeah. Just a little bit. Like they were like, yeah, he'll probably be about this big. And then he's this big. All right. Michael, what's it like 75? So you got to have a hat on today?
Yeah, maybe 45.
Oh, that's brutal.
Party, it's nice out here. Got a nice little heater going right next to me. Enjoying a stogie. Life is good.
Good stuff.
Nice.
All right. Well, the guest is all of us this week. Everybody is the guest. So it's open discussion for anything that you want to talk about.
I got a question for you guys in NADA in February. I know I'm doing the TEDx roundtable, but have you guys heard of anyone attending this virtual NADA, dealers or even vendors? Or what are your thoughts on NADA this year?
I have not heard anybody talk about NADA at all, except what I've seen him post on LinkedIn.
The only thing I heard about it, it was just too expensive for virtual, untested, uncharted NADA.
It's insane, right? How expensive it is.
Insane.
I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense for any of us, at least for vendors to show up there and not knowing what's going on. I think,
I think dealers, they still are charging $395 or something to participate, which that's kind of crazy in itself. But Snap-on collectively as a company, which represents about 25 other companies, they bailed 2 years ago now. So it's just an afterthought at this point.
I love the NADA show. I go every year. I won't be going this year, obviously, because of COVID, but I'll probably attend virtually. I graduated from the academy in 2007, so I try to stay involved.
So maybe that's where I know you from.
That could be.
I did too many years as a vendor.
The Caesar for us, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We looked at the pricing and it just was exorbitant with not a whole lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
It'll be
Well, and-
interesting. Obviously, online events are difficult to pull off too. So it will be.
Not for the FixedOps roundtable, they're not.
Yeah. Now they're not.
Yeah.
So along the same lines, did anybody go to SEMA at all? Or participate as a vendor or?
No.
Okay. So that Snap-on does do that and the different things, Build a Bay and some other ones. And it was just a bust.
Yeah,
You just sit there watching to see if somebody's going to come in. It's like, this is like a glorified website.
That's all
Right.
it was. I did SEMA for 10 years and would never miss it. And this year we have a pretty big presence in the collision space and we didn't participate this year either.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, it doesn't seem a good idea.
Glad to have you on board, Paul.
Good thing Paul's here.
Caesar, thank you for the barbecue, man. That was awesome. Couldn't have come at a better time. My wife made chili the other day, and that barbecue sauce was the fashizzle. Perfect.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
What did you decide on your logo, Dave?
Bottom right.
So
I'm a bottom right, and I like a bottom left too. Actually, they both look the same to me.
Dave, I decided for you, buddy.
I appreciate that, but you get outvoted.
No.
Dave, you never answered my questions.
What was your? Oh yeah, you asked all kinds of questions. There were some people that went deep on that logo question.
Not me.
Well, when you have a background in corporate messaging, logos matter.
Yeah. I'll probably disappoint everybody on here because I don't think anybody picked the one that I ultimately picked, which was top left.
You didn't
See,
go-
I said one of the
with that
top
one?
two.
No, I didn't go with that one, Paul. It was a great suggestion though. So I'm still refining that top left one though.
Yeah.
Just
Hey,
taking
Dave,
some of the shading out of it and things. Some things that'll make it hard to print and hard to put on materials. But
so Dave, which one did your wife pick?
actually, she liked that one, the top left.
Imagine that.
Surprise.
Imagine that. Right? Happy wife,
Winky dink.
happy life, right?
Although I will say that she also liked the top right, which was the two empty
Yeah,
V's. She
You're-
liked
you're
that
s-
too. So
yeah, you're still losing, Michael.
You know,
Well, I think there's still time. So I might have to work on Dave.
I hear there's a special election on like January something.
yeah, right.
She is subject to change her mind though, so that may change slightly,
Yeah,
like 3 times.
the logo could change completely.
It's gonna be upside down.
Dave, I'm a closer, so don't count me out yet.
You let me know how you make out. I'll give you your email.
That's great. Hey, if you don't mind, I invited our service manager from our Ford store down in Louisiana. Daryl Terrell is here quietly in the background, but I'm pushing him to get involved with this group. So Welcome, Daryl.
Welcome, Daryl.
Welcome.
Yep,
Glad
welcome.
glad to
Hey,
have you here,
Daryl.
Daryl.
You don't have a brother named Daryl, do you?
No, I don't, unfortunately.
Nobody's wondering what the hell's up with this group.
Hey,
You caught us on a weird night, man. You caught us on an off night.
I hear Bob really likes Daryl.
Yeah. Usually by this time, we're a half page into notes, listening to a fine speaker.
Yeah, this is a little different, little free form, Daryl. No, normally we're actually doing something productive, but
Yeah, but you work at a Ford dealership, so you should be fine.
that's right.
It looks like Abel's back in Texas.
What's up, guys? I'm in Texas.
Whereabouts, Abel?
Austin.
Was it beautiful there like it was in Dallas? It's 71 today and beautiful.
Yeah, it was 75 today.
Yeah.
But I go back to Kansas tomorrow, so we'll see.
Where in Kansas you had it, Abel?
Kansas City.
Well, so you could be in Missouri.
True.
Well, you know what? Basically, it's right in, I say Kansas City because a lot of people don't know it, but it's just right. I cross the street and it's Missouri.
So you're going to be in Kansas City, Kansas?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or are you going to be in Olathe? Or maybe, see, I know all that area.
I don't know the area at all. I just
Yeah,
know how to get to where I need to go, and that's it.
Sorry, Rob.
Hey, the Jayhawks are good. Not in football, but in basketball.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. They remind me every day about it. Trust me. And then on Fridays, everybody wears red for the Kansas City Chiefs. That's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kid went to Arizona State, and Buddy has had second row seats right behind the Cardinals bench, and I'm of course from Michigan. So I show up with my Lions blue on, and we start off and we're winning 10-0 in the first quarter. And everybody around us is booing and hissing, and I mean, we're surrounded by red. There's two people in Honolulu blue and silver sitting there and cheering and standing up. The final score is 48-10. We got our asses handed to us. The last three quarters, everybody's bringing a beer over or whatever, and hey, we feel sorry for you guys. You're not flying home tonight, are you? Yeah, I can imagine.
Isn't it like that with every Lions game though? Pretty much.
Even at home.
Yep.
Oh,
There's always next year.
For 58 years now. Yep. Or whatever it's been since the last time.
Hey, all I got to say is my Browns have a chance to win the division now.
They do. And Pittsburgh
and the
looks
Patriots will
terrible.
not even make the playoffs.
And if you were smart enough to take the Bengals straight up last night, you made a lot of money.
Yeah, but who's gonna take the Bengals against the Steelers, man? That's
Oh yeah.
I did.
be a Bengals fan, yeah.
I'm not a Bengals fan. I'm a Browns fan. But there's only one other team that I hate more than the Bengals, and that's Pittsburgh.
Hey, Rob, you're in California, I guess?
No, I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio. This is our new bridge.
Well, yeah.
Nice.
Okay, I thought it was the San Francisco Bay Bridge. So
It is, but it's a virtual background.
Yeah,
Kind
know.
of like Paul's not really up at the space station right now.
Well, actually, I am.
we all know that.
yeah, I need some of the shades like Paul so I can be cool.
You can get those right down on
Uh-huh.
your video.
Yeah,
My bridge picture is in honor of the fact that they are going to reopen the 7175 bridge that goes across the Ohio River, which transports more commerce in the United States than any other bridge. It over $1 billion worth of commerce a month. And over a month ago, there was a semi truck that jackknifed and another semi truck that hit it, and it went up in flames. So it's been literally closed now for 6 weeks, and they're opening it up tonight.
Wow.
It also
Nice.
has the claim to fame of being the highest volume drug trafficking bridge in North America. Because all the drugs that go up to Jeff in Michigan
Makes a
come
lot of
straight
sense.
up 75.
It's American commerce, you know.
That's
How much of that billion is it?
Yeah. 3/4.
Yeah. So how has everybody's
Any
week been?
years or
Oops.
well,
Who said
on a
that?
call?
I don't know who that was. All right.
Well, then I'll speak up.
Yeah, Russ, go.
I'll tell you what, it's been a year to remember, and I'm humbled and have an attitude of gratitude today, but I'm telling you what, I can't wait for 2021 and to close this chapter up in the next week. It's been a tremendous ride. I'm sure everybody has a lot of their own stories, but I'm like I said, I'm have an attitude of gratitude, and I'm grateful and thankful that I'm healthy and my family's healthy. I mean, just everybody. But there's been a lot of people around me that haven't been so fortunate, and I'd like everybody to keep their thoughts and prayers for those people that are suffering. That's for sure.
Amen, brother.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm
Agreed.
into that one.
been tough, man.
It has been a
Yes.
long year.
It has been a very different year, hasn't it?
Yeah, historic. Hey, did everybody see the Christmas star, the North Star that hadn't been around since 800 years last night?
Oh, yeah.
It was magnificent.
Not in Tacoma.
Probably not, but it was really a sight. It was great.
Yeah, it was unfortunately too cloudy up here in Massachusetts to see it, but
But you can still see it. It's still out. I'm a big fan of that. And we had the telescope out there. We had the neighbors.
wow.
What's interesting is that, believe it or not, many people have never looked through a telescope. And
I believe it.
if you look at a telescope and you see the moon, it's just amazing.
Mhm.
Seeing Saturn, I've never seen Saturn through a telescope or the Jupiter moons. It's an incredible sight.
Yeah.
They're still available for the next 2 or 3 weeks because they're still kind of together. Now they're separating.
Yeah. But
Speaking of
Saturn and
telescope
Jupiter in
and
the
moon,
night sky.
Your neighbor's not calling the police anymore about that telescope incident this year. But it was a different moon, sorry.
Different moons. Oh, Paul's on fire tonight.
Man,
Open
Oh,
mic.
too many hours of work, and that's what it's called.
So I have a question for the group. Since we're at the end of 2020, going into 2021, a new decade.
Right.
What is one of your biggest goals for 2021?
I'll speak to that. And, I consider myself a student of the game, and I'm going to continue to hang out with y'all on Tuesday nights. I've signed up for Dave's Vision and Values coaching session in 2021. I'm going to reattend the NADA Academy starting in March, and just continue to work on my skill set. So it's been 13 years since I graduated from the academy, and I think that the NADA has a lot to offer, just like everybody here. And if you're not growing, you're rotting. And I'm going to continue to challenge myself. 2020 has been such an interesting year. I almost use the word amazing, but I mean, I can think back to January and how excited I was for 2020, and we have just a tremendous opportunity in front of us. And it was impeded a little bit with COVID, but I can't tell you how many webinars I sat through in the last 9 months. It's got to be over 100, and whether it was variable related or fixed related, just to continue to grow. And then, as a leader, how do you share that information with your team and in your world, right? So You know, my goal is to keep pounding, keep doing it, and do it at a high level.
To where the
I have no doubt you will, Michael.
Mhm.
I appreciate the support, brother.
And I can't wait to come down and see you again.
Yeah, so we just signed a letter of intent to buy some property and build a new store, and that'll be a game changer for us.
Yeah, you were out when I was there. The big notice that I noticed was you are definitely bulging at the seams, even in a COVID year.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a great year for us. I mean, we're having another outstanding month. I think our customer pay business is up about 38% in labor and about 26% in parts, and our traffic count is down like 4.5%. So we're just doing things really, really well.
That's right.
Mhm. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
What about you, Russell? What's your goal going into 2021?
Well, I think it was either yesterday or today. My new company is 11 and a half months old. And we rolled out January the 7th, maybe a little over 11 and a half months. And then with my old company, I was able to sign, I think it's 28 deals in 3 weeks, and which was real easy because I built the whole thing about me, and it's probably about everybody, at least the ones that are in this room here. It's all about character and integrity. I build relationships is what I do. And with the companies I have had or been involved with in the number of years in retail, I wouldn't be where I'm at without those connections. And then it flatlined in February, and all my vendor friends and dealerships were closing, where everybody was freaking out, because of the COVID thing. And our company has really done quite well in the last 11 and a half months. So I want to continue to build on that. But more importantly, I had the rare opportunity before Zig Ziglar died, and his office is in Dallas. And I met one of his siblings and was invited to do a devotional with Zig at his office. And
Wow.
I grew up cutting my teeth in the business with Zig, and all the little Ziganisms. But I really ascribe to, if you help enough other people get what they want, you're going to get what you want. So
Mhm.
it's all about service and giving back is really what it is. And most of you probably don't know this, but when I'm not building my business, it's all about family. And in between that, I work with a lot of people with drug and alcohol problems. That's where I find my truest joy and passion. I've learned a lot about myself in that too, because I really ascribe that you can't keep what you have unless you give it away.
Amen.
I really believe that you reap what you sow. You really do. So, people, it doesn't matter if it's recovery or business or whatever it is. You can lead a horse to water, right? But you certainly can't make him drink. But I always like to make sure that they know that pail is right there. And I'll be more than happy to share my experience, strength, and hope with them. So my whole life is transformed with that philosophy and how I live my life. And when things are not good, I'm grateful. When things are good, I'm grateful. And I certainly thank the man above for those good times and those bad times. So that's what I look forward to. Continue to do this with you all and build some tremendous relationships and grow my company. And there's certainly a lot of value with what we bring to the table. And I think it was somebody in here last week when we were talking, or if it was, raise your hand or whatever, but who said who was the first person to walk on the moon, and then who was the second person to walk on the moon, right? Nobody remembers, okay? And so I want to make hay while I can, because we got something quite unique that nobody in the industry is doing right now. And it's people are starting to really recognize that. And so I like adding a lot of value. I like to undercommit and over deliver as much as possible. And not everybody knows me, and that could be lip service, but that's how I live my life today.
Yeah, let me speak to that, Russell, because you and I have never had the opportunity to meet face to face, but I feel
sir.
like we have a great relationship.
Yes, sir.
And you definitely practice what you preach. From a guy like me, I completely appreciate that. And I thank you for the friendship we're
Thank
growing.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
And
Appreciate it.
I will back
wanna say
that up
something.
also, Russ, because when I had a tough time with the website and things earlier this year, without hesitation, you jumped in there and saved the day for me, and had a website completely rebuilt and launched back up with only a few hours of downtime. And that was amazing, and without asking for a thing. So it speaks a lot to your character.
Thank you. It's what, at the end of the day, that's all it is. I want to leave, like we all do. It's not about the business and the money, although that's nice too, but it's about leaving something behind, you know, for your kids and your grandkids. And I got two little beautiful granddaughters, and I got two grandsons on the way. They're going to be here in the next few months. So I'm really excited about it. And my wife
Awesome.
wants to come home. She wants to retire. And she's been in this business 31 years. She's a controller over many stores. So she stays pretty busy, but in August, she wants to retire. So that is a tremendous amount of pressure on me, you know? It's all good.
So this
It all
may
sounds awesome.
a little bit of a segue, but I've been hammering at the factory through, my fixed ops guy and the AGM who came to visit me last week about marketing in fixed operations. And while, the last couple of years, I really honed my skills digitally, and maybe that lent a hand to our relationship, Russell, but I'm really practicing in the digital space. And I feel like all of the variable side is transitioning to, obviously the digital side, but OTT and some other opportunities to send the variable message. But we're still sending emails and doing crazy shit that I don't think is driving the results. And I think there's enough data out there that, I've challenged. I put the gauntlet down just last week and said, "You guys got to do something different, man." I mean, how are you trying to get in this space and do it so well and transition these variable guys, but not on the fixed side? And the answer came down to money. And then it's that old discussion is, we've talked about, is the back of the house now the front of the house, and where are you getting your biggest return on investment from an advertising standpoint? So why aren't the manufacturers really catering that advertising message more through digital platforms?
I think it's coming, Michael.
I'm impatient.
Pardon me?
I'm impatient.
Well, I can tell you from personal knowledge that they are focusing on it. It's just, but the Titanic doesn't turn on a dime, unfortunately. And they're always late to the game. The automobile industry as a whole is always late to the game. It's why I love playing in this space, is because there's so much opportunity to improve the way we do business with the consumer, and really utilize technology in the fixed side of it in a way that's never been done. And it's coming.
It is. It is.
I think there's still that at the OEM level, no matter what's said over the last 20 years or whatever, there's still the front and there's still the fixed ops, and they are the battle. And if you work for parts and service at an OEM, you're still looked at as lower than the variable side. It's something they still have never changed. But where's the advertising? Like you said, from an OEM level, because I'm just on the Ford side is pretty much my focus. Well, what's Ford announcing? They're going after the used car market again. There's no, besides quick lanes, there's nothing else. There's no constant advertising. There's no upfront. And it's pretty much the same for a lot of different ones. So
you don't see that changing at all, Dan, slowly but surely turning?
possibly you might see a little bit of it, but there's nothing compared to where the money is coming from now, what everyone's focused on. It sure isn't equal.
Well, I think they're starting to change their tune a little bit, and you can look at, and I know this is not a direct relational, but 4 years ago, GM, Ford, Nissan, Toyota, Chrysler all made a commitment to taking back control of how cars were being repaired in the collision industry. And they spent a lot of money in marketing. Go pull out a Ford manual, and there's a section in there about if you're in a collision, call this number or go to this webpage, and it will take you to a certified Ford repair facility. They're putting a lot of infrastructure into place. It's not there yet, where the car will call the tow truck, and that tow truck's automatically going to take it to a certified repair facility. That's going to trickle into the fixed ops side of it. And that's where, you've heard me, we've talked about front of the house, back of the house. You've heard me talk about the front of the house is always going to be sexier because it's about client acquisition. The back of the house is client retention. And I don't care what business you're in, whether it's financial services, the hotel business, pick your industry. They always spend more money on client acquisition. Go watch the Shark Tank. What's the first thing they always ask an entrepreneur? What's your client acquisition cost? So that's where always the focus is going to be, because you can't retain something you don't have. But it's cheaper to retain a customer than it is to acquire that customer. And I think they're starting to recognize that they have to start putting that emphasis on the backside. And I'll use Toyota as the example. They've thrown away their CSI score. They've gone to a TLE score, and you can't even figure out where, they've gone to a 5-star score but they don't aggregate the score across all their customers and give the dealership a 5-star rating. They take each individual customer, and that's all is this customer gave me a 5, this customer gave me a 4, this customer gave me a 3. And that all extrapolates into their TLE score, but that TLE score is more about customer retention than anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'll tell you an initiative I'm working on right now, and I brought it up a few weeks ago about marketing to most makes and models. And I feel like today, so my situation is a little unique in the sense that my fixed absorption is like 109% for the year.
That's great.
So that gives me a lot of latitude to play in whatever arena I want. And so I've got a very inexpensive loss leader, full synthetic oil change with a complimentary tire rotation and brake inspection for most makes and models. And I'm stirring the pot in our marketplace. And the point behind it is, Nissan as a Japanese import doesn't rank with Toyota, doesn't rank with Honda, doesn't rank with some of those other Japanese import brands that build a better vehicle and have better quality. But Nissan's got a plan with their Nissan Next vehicles, in particular, the Sentra that was launched this year, the Titan that was launched this year. I bought one. I bought a 2021 Titan a few months ago. And then especially the Rogue, and the Rogue's a game changer. So what I did, we have a monster indoor showroom, and Rob, you know this. I planted a 2021 Rogue in my customer waiting area, took some artwork that they supplied with us, repurposed the stand, and Boro Nissan'd it. And I have my advisors taking customers into the showroom and saying, hey, by the way, take a peek at this 2021 Rogue. And in particular, I have a single lane drive. I have 4 express bays there, and we use some in the shop. But there was 3 times last week and twice already this week where the other makes and models outweighed my manufacturer brand. And so if I can bring them into our environment, they came here from a price point or a lack of service from wherever they're going, but I know I can provide them an experience worth talking about. And then if I can actually introduce them to maybe the brand and show them the product, as a fixed ops guy, that's not normal, right? But I've got my team involved before I launched the idea that I don't give a damn what the badge is on the grill. Short of some of the German engineering stuff, we'll service most makes and models. And with the fact that we're looking to build a new store, and that's maybe 18 months away, I don't want to double business in 36 months. I want to double business on day 2. So if I can influence the variable side by selling vehicles, it's on my radar with great intent and focus. I have a spiff out for my advisor staff that if we sell 25 vehicles this month, I'm going to send them on a trip. Whoever sells the most cars, and if we get to 30, which is a big number, I'm going to comp their time off.
That's great.
So if I can sell an extra 300 vehicles in 2021, which I think is a light number, I'll do it. And I have signs in my waiting area that says, if you want a trade appraisal, contact me, not my used car manager.
I like it.
I like
That is brilliant, Michael. That is again, it's all, you all have seen, I've had my wheel behind me, call it the Ferris wheel, whatever you want to call it. I call it the life cycle of the consumer. And, they buy a vehicle, and they don't just buy Nissans at your dealerships, because every dealership I know out there is selling used cars.
Amen.
Well, why aren't you going after that market? And I think you're a perfect example of that. You are going after that market. That's why you're getting a large number of name badges in there that aren't your name brand. And but you're bringing those customers in, which now means you can offer them up. And that's a nut that I think more and more service managers need to start recognizing, is that when I can offer a customer up to the variable side, that's customer retention. Now I've completed the cycle, and now they're coming back in.
Hey, Michael, if I could ask, so what are you using for parts catalog, and where are you buying parts for your off brands, the non-Nissan brands? Everywhere?
So, obviously we have a fairly good sized pre-owned department. We sell, I'll sell 1,400 used vehicles this year. We stock some of that stuff, but through a partnership with Nissan, they have a vendor that I bought 20 grand in parts a month ago. Filters, wipers, brakes, rotors. I bought a bunch of stuff that is returnable in the event I don't sell it. But for those of you who know me, I'm going to sell it. So, there's really a no risk investment. And, that's just me thinking outside of the box. Having the NADA background and understanding the dealership, I just feel like I'm in a different world today where I can influence things that are uncomfortable for most, but for me, if I can stick my hand in there, I'm in. I'm not the type of guy that wants to put their toe in the water. I'm jumping in till I turtle, right before you get to the waist. Water's warm. So we'll see. I mean, I'm excited about it. The factory is even more excited because with the launch of this 2021 Rogue and all their dealers, they find it odd and interesting that a fixed ops guy is championing the message more than the variable guys are. 2 cars I had in the waiting room, and then I have to beg them to get a car cleaned and ready for the showroom, and it takes them days. And I'm again not the most patient person in the world, so I had to get a car cleaned up and stuffed in there before I left tonight because I want it ready for tomorrow. And I just think it's a really, really, really interesting dynamic as we talk about the back of the house becoming the front of the house, because you know, I've got this vision in my mind that I should be able to sell 300 cars, and I really think the number's closer to 500 cars in 2021, based on the amount of traffic we have. But I'm gonna taper that a little bit and kind of set the bar low. But man, selling 360 cars, if I can do it and convert some other makes and model customers into our brand, I mean, you know, that fits that whole life cycle. And I definitely know we can provide a level of experience that customers are telling us. While our sales are up and the year has been a tremendous success, the caveat to that is our customer satisfaction scores have never been higher. We're going to finish December with our best score ever. We'll finish the last quarter of the year with our best 3-month score ever. So there's just a lot of good things going on, and I just can't help myself but to keep meddling a little bit.
Hey, Michael, let me give you some stats to help you out. And this is from about 200 dealers that I've had doing this now for roughly a year now. And we offer it up softly, but it's basically doing what you're doing on the service drive. For every 100, if you're averaging 100 vehicles a day, you can sell 24 vehicles a month without a whole lot of work.
I agree.
And our stats for 200 dealers is that if you're averaging 100 ROs a day, you'll get 5 to 6 requests a day for a free trade appraisal. When you offer it up softly after the service is done, is how we do it. And that translates into about 140 to 150 requests a month. And the conversion rate that we're experiencing is averaging between 15 and 20%.
Perfect. Yeah.
So that's real data out of the industry from 200 plus stores.
Yeah, I know. From my CRM days, when I had a CRM company, working with dealerships, and of course I was on the variable side for 16 years too. But the bottom 2.5% of a dealership's database is buying a new or used car from somebody every single day. Why not you? 2.5%.
And I think that number's low because there's no intention behind it, right? Like that happens by accident. So just think, if you focused, I mean, could you double or triple that number? I mean, I believe that's a possibility. So that's great. I mean, I love the data. I'm a numbers guy, and that makes complete sense to me. So this is interesting. I have 14 advisors, and we have a tool for a soft appraisal. So I got them all access to the tool 2 weeks ago. And again, we're testing the waters. And what happened that was kind of interesting is one of my own advisors appraised his own vehicle and ended up trading it in and bought a new car because of it, bought a new truck. So, I mean, it can work. It's just a work in process.
Is it online, Michael?
Pardon me?
For you, you're not the typical guy. Okay, that's number one. The model that you're talking about is nothing short of brilliant. And the reason being that the relationships that you can build in the service department, in my opinion, is probably 10 times stronger than the relationship that can be built in variable.
Amen.
Okay, because they're coming to you in their hour of need, truly. And you're turning them around happy that they've spent money in an area where they don't really want to spend money and they don't necessarily see benefit from it, but yet they leave you spending money. So now if you embrace this, and obviously you do, and you have a team that embraces this, you guys are the best equipped in the store to attack this type of program.
That's right.
And the variable guys will probably not like the next statement, but from what I've seen over many years is that the variable department is more interested in working the pay plan Whereas the fixed department is more interested in furthering the business. That's my opinion after spending over 4 decades in the business, walking in the front and back of stores. And who's receptive, who's willing, and who's embracing. And it's usually the fixed ops guys, but you are truly a rare bird in this,
You are.
because you don't see that in other stores. But you're the perfect beta for this, because you can light this thing on fire, and you could take that movement nationally, and the stores will do better than having the typical sales guy parked in the service department, working deals. You have a much better opportunity.
Yeah.
I think really what makes the difference too is that they probably don't have a preconceived notion. The variable side is always that they look at a train, they go, oh, he's buried. Oh,
Yeah.
this, oh, that. There's some kind of an assumption built with them all the time. You get that. So Paul, you talked about the salesperson that sits in the lane. He's cherry picking his way through it. He's not doing like Rob talked about, making sure that if you have 100 ROs, that you have 24 vehicles sold every month, and working that process, right? That's where the difference comes in what Michael talks about.
Yeah, he's best equipped to do that kind of a program.
I agree.
Yeah, and it's all about taking that wall, and there shouldn't be a wall. And for years, it's been us against them, or them against us, or however you want to do it. When you walk in the door and you get a no, that's not my job from any department, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. And
Everybody's
we've got a big sales manager changeover coming up that's going to be a benefit to me, because our sales manager is one that says, not my job. And he's hindering our growth. We hit a wall and we're comfortable. We're turning business away because we need to make
Dangerous place
this
to
much
be.
money.
Yeah.
And forgetting about the big picture. That change happens in a week, and it's going to be a big plus for us.
So let
And-
me speak to that for just a quick second. So I'm making the sales managers extremely uncomfortable right now, including our GSM. He's barking to my EM. He's like, why is this dude appraising cars? And A, I can, and B, you're not. So I want the business. And so, I have access to Weaves V Auto. I know how to navigate that. I know what a car's worth. I know what our reconditioning costs are. I know what our packs are. I'm making them really, really uncomfortable. And so our executive manager said, embrace it. Who else do you know that's trying to sell a car for you that has more influence than Mike and his team? And so
Ego and pride.
Pardon me?
Ego and pride.
Yeah, well, I call that a difference in philosophy, right? So
Exactly.
I do everything to be proactive, and too many times in my experience, the variable side is always reactive, right? They want to take a punch in the face instead of putting their gloves up. And listen, no one's punching me in the face, so I'm going to be that first guy to strike, and I'm stoked about the opportunity. It's if I can lead our team there. And so far we're having some success, and I expect 2021 to be huge.
You're rocking their boat.
Absolutely.
You're making him or her feel like, I'm not doing what this guy's doing, and I could be doing it.
That's right.
And they're going to see that maybe they don't need me.
Michael, you are an anomaly though, because as Paul said, there's I'm out there all over the country doing this kind of stuff, and there's not many of them out there that are.
Nobody.
No, they're just not.
So
You're the one.
Yes, true that.
to Paul's point, the deals that I've made in the last 6 weeks, the front end gross is greater than their average PRU, and the back end gross is also greater, and it's a relationship thing. It's a trust. So I'm telling you right now, I'm intent on blowing things up in 2021, and we'll see where it goes. But you know, I've got myself on this crazy mission, and I've got myself on another crazy mission that I'll share with you guys. So, you know, most dealerships have the ability to send a multi-point inspection, and most do it by email, right? Most dealerships have a platform that allow you to do that digitally today. And so we're doing the digital MPI that I can text you to your phone at a super high level. And when I say that, we're over 84% online quote utilization. Where I think the interesting dynamics are with this, in 3 of the last 5 months, I've had customers approve over $100,000 of customer pay parts and labor sales by their phone. They click yes, I'll do it. So what I'm digging at right now is the advisor declined rate is bigger than the customer decline rate. So I've had some tough in the trenches conversations with my writers saying, why is this? If we're talking about it at the time of write up and telling people we're going to share your multi-point inspection with you electronically and you're going to get it via text. And by the way, should your vehicle need any additional service, you can just go ahead and approve it from your phone. We're doing that even with the waiters. So what's happening is the advisors are sending the electronic MPI to the customer, waiting a few minutes and walking into the waiting room while they're reviewing it. And if the customer says no, what the advisors are doing is going back to the drive and declining that work for them. And I said, that's got to stop, and it's got to stop right now. So I want to take the onus from the advisor and place 100% of that burden on the customer. Because if they, you know, it's easy for me to say no to anybody, right? But it's more difficult for me to take ownership, and then I have to choose, like, do I want to take this and say yes, or do I want to take this and say no? So if the customer's at 3 millimeters and their brakes are at a point where they need to be replaced, they can easily tell an advisor no. And then the advisor says, okay, I'm going to go back out to the drive and say they decline this. But I'm waving the bullshit flag right there, that the customer needs to decline everything. Okay, Paul, hey, do me a favor. If you don't want to get those brakes done today, I understand. Go ahead and just decline that from your phone. And I've already seen people in 2 weeks, and I see it every day with alligator arms. So they get nervous about clicking no, because then the responsibility is on the customer and not the advisor, which is ultimately where I'm focusing my efforts. And
That's great.
I had some Nissan people out, and they're like, dude, you're crazy. And I said, no, I'm not. I mean, this is a game changer in my opinion, because of what 2020 has brought us. So, you know, we're professionals. We're the best place to service a car. That's why these customers are coming here. And so it's not our responsibility to make them say yes. It's our responsibility to share the information. And the multi-point inspection is a combination of time, mileage, or vehicle condition. So I'm not a crook. I'm not selling snake oil. I'm selling recommended maintenance or repairs on your vehicle based on time, mileage, or condition of the vehicle. And so what I can do every day for my entire career is look you or anybody else in the eyes and say, your vehicle needs this based on this multi-point inspection. And if the customer says no, I can challenge them at that point and dig deep into the overcoming objection part. But what I can do every single day with 100% certainty is come home and put my head on my pillow at the end of the night and go to sleep like a baby, because I did the best damn job I could, you know, today and every day. And again, when you shift that onus from the advisor saying no to the customer, man, we're going to have an interesting first quarter of 2021. And what my ultimate goal is to have the customer 100% responsible for approvals or declines. And I don't want my advisors declining anything. So if we're at an 84% online quote utilization percentage, I can achieve 100% of the customer response to that with 100% certainty. So whether the customer standing in front of us is a waiter or away at their desk or their office or in a meeting or whatever, that's fine. Just you go ahead and decline that right there. But my pitch is, should your vehicle need any additional recommendations, you can just go ahead and approve it right from your phone. It'll expedite your service visit and the time we get to return your vehicle. So I'm knocking on some interesting stuff for 2021. And
Yeah, you are.
for the people here, I found, and I'm sorry to keep talking too much, but going back to the beginning of the conversation, some of the vendors that were apprehensive about what's happening on the digital side and the cost associated with it as it relates to NADA show and those things, man, I think 2021 is a year you got to gamble a little bit on yourself. And am I not an anomaly? Probably. I get that. But if you got some of me's to go along with this journey, I'm just hell bent on wrecking our PMA. I expect and I hope my general manager and the executive manager, I hope they get hate phone calls from some of the other GMs to say, hey, knock it off. The Toyota guy in town, the Ford guy in town. Listen, I don't give a shit about any of those guys. At the end of the day, I care about me and my team and leading our team. I'm the guy that has to create the pathway to prosperity for them. And I'm hell bent on doing it.
All right, good stuff, Michael. I'm gonna pull the mic away from you for a couple minutes. Rob Young had brought up the question of what people's goals are for 2021, and I want to give Abel a chance. He is a guy who has made some strides in his career and made a big change recently to get to his end game in his career. So, Abel, tell us about your 2021.
Well, as I put in my chat thing, I just want to meet every single one of you and whoever's not here as well, because everybody has influenced me to do better for myself. Being an advisor for Subaru for 17 years, I decided to take the jump and do what I'm doing right now, which is trying to help, struggling stores or advisors and just do better and just make them more accountable, I guess, or more proud of what they do and what they, it's hard to be an advisor. I mean, I don't know if I'm sure all of you are not advisors, but I was an advisor until a couple of months ago, and decided to take the plunge. But other than that, I'm happy what I'm doing. I'm happy to bring light to other people and other companies. And even though it's been Subaru, I learned a lot from Ford, Jaguar, Suzuki, Mitsubishi, you name it. It's great. And having all you here, like I see you guys as mentors, every single one of you. And every time I might not speak, I might not say anything because I'm usually a quiet one, obviously. But I do appreciate everybody's knowledge and input that they have here. And it amazes me. And I'm so glad to be part of this group. And I'm glad when I met Dave and he put me in this group, and I had second thoughts about it. But then some of you I chatted with, some of you I haven't, or message or whatever. But I would really like to get to know you guys, on a more close basis than just this, and hopefully if I'm in your city one day, I would like to have dinner with you, or Russ, like I told you before, like when I go back to Arizona.
Right.
Yeah. So
I can't wait.
Yeah. So I don't know, just
Come in the summer too, so we can use our hot pads on the steering wheel.
Exactly. The mittens, the oven mittens.
One of the things that I'd like to share is that
So I'm just grateful to meet.
Thank you.
Just go ahead, Paul. I'm sorry.
No problem. one of the great things about LinkedIn and FixedOps is the community that we build, right? You just never know. The opportunities are endless and they come out of nowhere. I got a call today and like a lot of people, I'm a firm believer in giving back. So I volunteer my services for several nonprofits in my area, just because it feels good. You know, you get to help a lot of people on a grand scale by utilizing your skill set in ways that they don't know how to do. And they appreciate it, and they can't do it without you. So I did one of the videos I did for a local charity was shared. I shared it on LinkedIn, and a few other people shared it on LinkedIn. And what was interesting about that is that Joe Perez, you got anybody here know Joe Perez?
Yep.
So Joe shared that video in a few different places. And just to share it to try to help this organization. And we actually he had somebody reach out to him that we're probably going to do some stuff with now because he saw that video. There's just a video shared, reshared, that leads to somebody across the continent reaching out and now collaborating on stuff. So, you know, when you say you want to meet everybody in here, yeah, I want to meet everybody in here too. I've met a number of you guys through the FixedOps Roundtable at different events. But yeah, I mean, there's just nothing like it. I look forward to being past COVID and being able to do a tour and meet up with so many of the guys and gals that I've not yet met. So that's a great goal to have, Abel.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
So
Paul. But thank you guys. I really mean it. I want to meet each and every single one of you.
for anybody that didn't see in the chat, Jeff had put, for those that don't know, Subaru praised the job Abel did. He was well respected by Subaru, the company. I heard his name before this group ever started. So
He is somebody that when we have advisor contests and things like that in the past, you'd look at these rankings, you're like, damn, who is this guy? Damn, he's there again. Son of a bitch, what does he do?
Thank you, Jeff. I can't wait to meet you.
It was pretty awesome, and there's some corporate people that still are missing you in the field for sure. But you did what you need to do. Absolutely.
I appreciate that. And my goal is to go back to Subaru, at least to go mentor some stores or whatever. But because of COVID, of course, they're not having any meetings or whatever. I still keep in touch with the FixedOps manager or director of Subaru. And we're always contacting each other and just seeing what we're up to. But other than that, they're not having face-to-face meetings. And that's what I really want.
now it's good to have guys that have actually done the job out there, training new advisors and in stores that are existing. There's plenty of trainers out there that have never worked a drive a day in their life, and never mind 17 years of it. So,
and you know it when they come into your store, don't you? Too?
Yeah, that right there.
Yeah.
You can't fake experience.
No, you cannot.
They know you know right away whether or not somebody has walked the talk.
mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
that's really what drove me to what I'm doing, because every time I would go to class, and Dave, you know me, I go to every single training I can. It could be Zig Ziglar, it could be whatever. I mean, seriously, I love knowledge. I love to learn. I love whatever. But whenever I get these guys, and I talk to them, they're like, you right away get the sense that they're never in my shoes or my position. They don't know what we're talking about. They're just reading from a book. And that's
Right.
really what I hated. It prompted me to
Training
do what I
video.
want. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Hey, Russell, speaking of Zig Ziglar, did you ever get a chance to meet the redhead?
I don't think I know who the redhead is.
That's his wife.
Oh, no, she was not there. There was like 6 people in the room, and it was truly great. Got a lot of pictures afterward, which I wasn't expecting. He gave me a couple books with signatures on it, which was great. And then he passes away a couple years later, unfortunately.
What?
Icon.
Always refer to his wife as the redhead.
The redhead. Okay, well, I'll remember that next time I hear that. Thanks, Paul.
He said she was a redhead by choice. She renewed that choice every Thursday. Go ahead, Rob. Or maybe not. All right. Well, it's 9:06, gents. We can there is no real after hours because the whole thing was an after hours today. So
Right, exactly.
so we can hang out and chat, do whatever your heart's desire.
Well,
Sunday night on Sunday Night Live. It's the 1-year anniversary of my Sunday Night Live show. And I'm going to have a number of people, including our friend here, Mr. David Foy, and some other people from the FixedOps roundtable on the show this Sunday coming up. So 8 o'clock Eastern time.
I'm going to be the first guest to appear 2 weeks in a row.
And Caesar's going to be on.
Yes. Dun, dun, dun. So, Michael, the Sunday Night Live show, Paul, if I got this correct when you explained it to me, the invitation comes from on LinkedIn when you put your post up, correct?
It broadcasts within the post now. So when I put a post up that the show is going to air on Sunday, it's going to broadcast within that. So if anybody shares that, wherever they share it, they'll be able to see it right in that post.
But you also put it on YouTube and things too, right? So if you subscribe to Paul's YouTube channel, you can get it there.
And Facebook.
Cover the gamut.
Well, as we wrap up tonight, Dave, I want to say thank you for an awesome 2020. For me, this Tuesday night has been, I think I missed 2 all year. But for me, it's an education. It's an opportunity to hear the real unsung heroes of the automotive industry. In my opinion, the FixedOps guys talk about what really is important, and that's taking care of the customer. So thank you all for being a part of this. Thank you for letting me be a part of it, more importantly. And thank you for the wisdom that you instill every week. And I'm excited about 2021 and where this group goes next.
Yeah.
We're looking at some big things. Yeah, it's been a great year. Thank you for that, Rob. Thank you for everybody who is here every week or most weeks supporting this. It definitely has evolved into more than I expected it to when I started this. So thank you all very much. And that is a perfect segue, Rob, to thank our sponsors, Update Promise and Recall Masters, Dynatron, Traver Connect, and Russ Hill and FixedOps Marketing.
Thank you.
Thank you all for supporting the FixedOps Mastermind. It is greatly appreciated. I appreciate every single one of you, and there is no doubt in my mind that I learn more every week than I give. That's for sure. So much knowledge that everybody in this group brings, and it's awesome that we can get it out there and share with everybody else. Russ, thank you for being our scribe every week.
Yes, you're very welcome. It's been an experience and an outstanding time for me every Tuesday. I love to do it. I love to be a part of this group. It's made me a better person. Certainly gained much more knowledge than I ever would have imagined had I not been here. And am absolutely grateful I consider all of you my friends, and have a great holiday, and just be safe and know that everybody on this phone call cares about everybody else. And that's really what I think
True
sets
that.
this mastermind
Amen to that, brother.
apart from everything else. Like, I have a personal relationship with every one of you. Whether you're on this call today or you're not on this call today, or we talk or chat or post something to someone's timelines or make a comment somewhere, it comes from the heart from every one of you, and I'm absolutely grateful for that.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well
Good
said.
stuff, Russ. Good stuff. I tried to fill in for
Hey,
you the
Dave,
couple weeks you weren't around, and I couldn't keep up. Go ahead, Abel.
Dave, are we having this next week or no?
Oh, sorry, that was Caesar. No, was that Abel or Caesar? You guys are confusing me. Nobody's mouth
Yeah,
is moving.
it was me.
Okay.
Are we having this next week?
Yes, absolutely.
Are we doing this next week? Okay, good.
We're gonna close out the year, huh?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Can you actually send the email with the right links? I mean, just saying. Just
Where's the
asking
mute-
for, asking for some friends here.
Where's
that-
the mute button for this guy?
Yeah, I
Dave.
know. I knew that was coming.
Put it in the LinkedIn Messenger, because I end up having to send it from my phone to LinkedIn Messenger, and then I click on it on my computer.
It's not just
Ah.
you, Jeff. He does it to everybody. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know what in the world I did this week, but I definitely gaffed that whole link thing up. The first email went out. It had the register button and didn't even have a link in it. So
I don't
It's the
know. It
April
worked for me,
Fools.
Dave.
the second one,
Everybody else.
Yeah. I had
Yeah,
two
the-
of them on my calendar.
I don't know. Someday, Zoom will figure it out so that I don't have to send a different link every single week. But that remains to be seen how I can work that.
No,
Well-
they do, Dave. Because I'm using Zoom now,
Yeah.
and it's the same. Everything's the same,
Yeah.
regardless.
Well, yeah, they have the recurring meetings, but the issue is because this is a membership.
Oh.
Anytime somebody drops out of the membership, I then would have to change the link and send everybody new links. So this way, I'm at least in the habit of sending links normally, sending correct links
Right.
out to everybody, as opposed to having to try and keep track of when people drop out and come back in and things and changing links around. So who knows? Someday there'll be technology that'll fix all this for me.
Right.
Merry Christmas to everyone. And
Right.
if you're not here next week, Happy New Year. And
Thank
we'll see you in 2021.
Absolutely.
Guys, and I really enjoyed tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yep. Good seeing
Good night.
everybody. Take care. Merry Christmas.
Good night. Merry
Hey,
Christmas,
everybody.
everybody.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Guys.